Okay, so we're starting the show with Micah Parsons talk because the Cowboys are really good at this. The Super Bowl happened, and then a story came out about the Dallas Cowboys, haven't had trade talks about Micah Parsons, but according to Ian Rappaport, like in the building have at least discussed, hey, should we pay this guy, or what about a king's ransom if we trade this guy? And so let's see, how do we want to start this? Because if I go to Clarence, he's going to be like, it's not going to happen. And that kills the whole segment. So let's just go to...
Why don't we welcome back Jesse?
Let's just welcome Jesse back with Micah talk.
So, let me first off say this. If the Joneses are being good, responsible owners and runners of a team, they should check.
Agreed.
If they are being true to who they're supposed to be, right? Like if they're saying, hey, we are leaving no stone unturned because we may actually be able to get something that we cannot refuse. So for them not to check would be malpractice. So I think checking is not bad. Seeing what's out there, seeing what people are saying and what people may want to do, especially leading up to the draft. Some teams are now looking at their rosters and looking at where they're at with the cap, and depending on, the Phillies now won the Super Bowl, they're starting to say, okay, what do I need in comparison to what my first division will look like and then my conference will look like. So for them, if, doing their due diligence about it is what you're supposed to do as somebody who is in that seated position.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
Joe?
I also think it's a classic playbook. Bless you, CC.
God bless your heart and soul.
I think it's a classic playbook move on not only the Cowboys' behalf, but also just like media behalf, a little bit behind the curtain here. Super Bowl Sunday is a big, big day for media, which means a lot of people are tuning in, which means you got to give people stuff too, right? You got to make sure things happen. You know what else you saw on Sunday happen? Deebo Samuel has been granted permission to request a trade. You think that just happened on Sunday morning?
Right.
No, I think that's been kind of building for a little bit. When you go into, as a media person, to Super Bowl Sunday and you got a lot of eyes on you, got to make sure that things that maybe you've had in the hopper for a little bit kind of come out. So it not only was this report on Micah Parsons, but they also had nuggets on Max Crosby. They had nuggets on Myles Garrett. The whole theme is that the pass rusher market's going to get a little bit interesting this year because a lot of good guys need payment. So I think that was part of it. I also think that the Cowboys, this is part of their playbook for a long time, and I'm going to kind of set up Clarence here to kind of dunk on this thing because I'm trying to help.
Be quiet.
No.
What
do you mean?
Keep going.
No,
I'm
I'm setting you up. Watch. Because the Cowboys have this thing where, hey, we're going to kind of put these little inklings out there that we might not actually pay you top dollar. We might not actually make you the highest paid guy. Or, hey, we could just move on from you and get what we want. Don't you want to stay here in Dallas? But I don't think that works in this situation for the Cowboys. And frankly, it hasn't worked in a while because Micah Parsons already let you know whether it's actually true or not. I don't need to be the highest paid. I can sign early. I want to make sure that I'll even give up money to get Myles Garrett. I want to make sure Osa comes back. I want to make sure Dorrance comes back. I will do that. I will be the selfless guy. And in terms of public perception, which is kind of the game you want to play if you're doing this playbook, Micah's already won that. There's no way the Cowboys are going to be able to change that public perception unless things were able to go into the offseason where they said, hey, we have a deal and Micah won't take it. We're ready to give him the highest paid deal and he won't take it. So I think that public perception is already done. I think there's two playbooks, and frankly, I don't think that there's a lot of merit to it.
Oh, there's no merit to it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's all a playbook.
You think Jerry Jones is Nico?
Yes.
You think Jerry Jones is Nico Harrison?
Yes, I think he's a bad GM.
Do you really think Jerry Jones? Well, yes, bad GM.
Yeah, I think he's a bad GM.
But you think he's going to trade his best player? He's not Nico. There's no Nico in Jerry.
I don't think he's going to trade his best player, but I think instead of like 100% to 0%, is like 93-7, because I do know, and I think that you guys would confirm, it's not universal in the Cowboys organization that they think that Micah Parsons is a pay him the most money, winning piece, got to have him here guy. I don't think that is not universal inside that building.
I don't think it was universal to pay Dak $60 million.
Yeah, I don't either. Right.
It wasn't.
Right.
But it's not a democracy in there.
Right.
Okay. It's not just because you feel that. There are a lot of people. This started last offseason. There are a lot of people in the organization who were tired of Micah Parsons' act, right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's still a lot of people in the organization who are tired of Micah Parsons' act. They don't get a vote.
yeah, for sure.
They don't get a vote. It's not about them getting a vote. And I hear you, but again, you know, we talked to King Henry's agent, right? Cowboys didn't even make a phone call, okay? Do you think the Cowboys are going to canvass the league about Micah Parsons? Do you really think they're going to do that?
No.
If they don't do those things, you're just supposed to check and see what you can get. Okay, they're not gonna do that.
No, but when you put that out there, what happens now
that
is
thing might ring.
Right, you don't have to go check.
Yeah,
they go, wait.
If the phone ain't ringing,
the phone
it's
ringing,
it's Mia calling. What's the
what do you? When you said that, what you really mean?
Yeah,
right. So they may not go check, but when you float that out there to go, hey, call. We're not calling you, but if you call us, we'll answer.
But all I know is that, and we're gonna talk about the draft, best player available. You don't win in this league getting rid of your best players, generational players, difference-making players. We go back to the Khalil Mack decision by the Raiders. It didn't work out for either side. It didn't work out for Chicago. Didn't work out for the Raiders. But you don't
didn't work out for the Raiders.
Make a living trying to win championships, getting rid of your best players. Your focus is to acquire good players. Micah Parsons is a generational talent. Yes, New York Giants, right. Generational talent. On the verge of putting up Hall of Fame type numbers. That's just not realistic. And it's just not something that Jerry Jones is not going to do.
No, because, well, I agree. But I do think it goes to your point. Like, yes, you should not trade Micah Parsons. The goal in sports is to acquire the best players. When you have the best players, getting rid of them is a very bad plan. If you traded Micah Parsons, that would be an announcement that you know the Dak winning window doesn't exist.
Right.
That's what that would be. If you trade guys like that are King's ransom guys, what you're saying is I'm not competitive the next few years.
So
that's what you're saying.
I'm not trying to win now.
Can I say something?
Let
me first say this. I agree with every one of you that you should not trade.
Here comes the button.
Oh, thank you.
Right, I agree. Like let's put that out there because
stop
they'll
the count.
cut this part.
You cannot get a fair return for players that are that good.
What I'm saying, if you get a King's ransom, and can we just like iron out what a King's ransom looks
somebody
like?
Actually, are you going to go player and picks or picks? Because somebody sent me an idea yesterday, and I could give you a ransom.
If sending away Micah brings me what, 2?
DK Metcalf, 2 first-round picks.
I can turn that into DK Metcalf and then send that to Cleveland, 2 first rounds to Cleveland, bring back Myles Garrett. I got better.
Okay, now
I got better.
Time out. I got better. I got better. Because here's the thing. That is a great point. This front office is too lazy.
If
to
I
do
got
that.
2 first-round picks and DK Metcalf, I ship those 2 first-round picks to Cleveland, bring in Myles Garrett. I got CD has more than maybes, and I still have a generational pass rusher, and
you know who does moves just like that?
Run
the
stopper.
Eagles.
I got better. So I want to say that I agree with what you gentlemen were saying. But if the King's ransom means something like that, 2 firsts and DK, I can have a better football team.
No one's giving you 2 firsts and DK. No one.
I was just theorizing.
Khalil Mack got traded for 2 first-round picks, and then they had to give him the contract. But no one's. I mean, I hear you. Maybe the 2 firsts, but I'm not giving you 2 firsts and a first-round talent.
Well,
I understand.
But
yes,
2 first-round picks.
It's a dream.
2 first-round. I have my first-round pick. I pick up more first-round picks.
One more first-round pick in DK. You have your 2, yeah, and then you trade them, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, yeah.
Like there is a scenario where this team can take a player and send him away, get back a haul, and get better, and not lose too much ground on the same position for a generational player.
It's possible. If you could find a way to parlay it around and end up with Myles Garrett.
Would we all agree that Myles Garrett is a Hall of Fame player?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
And still today is a Hall of Fame player, right this second.
And still has another 3, 4?
And
probably at least 2 or 3 elite years.
And Myles Garrett wants to leave Cleveland. Why?
Because if he wants to get paid.
No. He wants to win.
When he wants to win. Good point.
Does Dallas help him do that?
I forgot about that.
No, I forgot about that. Does he want to come here?
Did you see the Super Bowl odds?
Did you
see the Super Bowl odds? 17.
Now, that's a whole horse of a different color. But now what the Dallas Cowboys do have in their favor is He's from here.
Yeah, he's from Martin.
So
Martin.
coming back here may be a little bit more incentivized.
Now, do you know? Yeah, okay. But do you know what's wrong with everything you just did?
I know what's wrong.
Do you know
with
what's wrong with everything
I
you just
know.
did? You don't know the one I'm gonna say though.
Yes, I do.
What?
Who owns the team?
No.
Oh,
I'm not always mad at Jared. Well,
Yes, you are.
I probably
Yes, you
am.
are.
I just that's just not always what I'm going to talk. Yes, it is. No, because if you're playing those games, what you're supposed to do is keep Micah and trade for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when you're trying to win. You call them.
You
Give me
still
a
need
first
more
round
than
pick.
one. I mean, Myles Garrett's unhappy because he don't have a running mate.
Yeah, and the team that you're trying to chase down.
Got 2 or 3 of them dudes.
Congrats on your one great dominant defensive lineman. They got 5 dudes, and they just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah, speaking of which, on the way here, I passed by Ascension this morning, the coffee shop, and I saw Howie Roseman talking with Jerry Jones. Did you see they put a sticker there that said, like, this is where the meeting happened? And it's like,
wow.
they're like
Google
putting that, immortalizing that moment,
Google
that
view just went
table.
up.
Get well soon, Anthony Davis. We're looking forward to the title run. Hey, Mavs.
Street clothes.
Tank.
Nico.
Street clothes.
Let's go get in the lottery.
We all silly like the mayor.